Man, remember when Sonic the Hedgehog? He used to have so many good games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog Compact Disc, Sonic the Hedgehog the third one plus Red Sonic. Man, they just don't make them like they used to. Yeah, sure, there's all that other stuff, but that's all a bunch of crap. It's no good. I only play the classics, and I have no intention of playing all this Slopic the Hedgehog unless they go back to their roots. I mean, did you see that one game from 20 years ago? It has a scene of bestiality. If that doesn't prove that the series has lost its way, I don't know what will. Wait, what's that over there? Oh my goodness, there it is! It's finally here! The true sequel to Sonic 3! Oh, wait, wrong one. What? No, not you either. Okay, I think that's stretching it a little. Okay, there we go. The true sequel to Sonic 3! Sonic 4 was a game made during the big retro boom of the late 2000s/early 2010s. Games like New Super Mario Bros. And a bunch of the stuff on Xbox Live Arcade were showing that there was still a market for simpler retro-style games. This allowed for a ton of remakes and sequels, along with some completely new games to get more of a spotlight without having to be these giant, super expensive 3D games. So then Sega came along and decided that they wanted a little piece of that pie as well, and what better series to capitalize on this than the one that people wouldn't stop saying sucked ever since they stopped making simpler 2D games. But this wasn't just some throwaway nothing title, this was Sonic the Hedgehog 4. They couldn't just release it and be done with it. No, they had to release this game in episodes, with Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 releasing almost 2 years apart. Look, I get why they split this game up like they did, sometimes you gotta get the bag, but a 2-year gap between Episode 1 and 2 seems a little excessive. My guess as to why that happened is because, in all honesty, Episodes 1 and 2 are just two completely different games. Both of these games have completely different mechanics and feels to them. It's like if instead of calling Sonic 3, they called it Sonic 2 Episode 2. But one interesting fact is that it seems like there was going to be an Episode 3, but for one reason or another, it just never ended up happening. I wonder why. Episode 1 takes a lot of cues from Sonic 1. It has some Sonic 2 inspired stuff here and there as well, but it's clear they were trying to capture the feel of the original game when making this one. And just like that original game, it peaks in the first level. Splash Hill Zone is fine enough, it's a pretty typical first Sonic level, nothing too egregious, but while playing this level you start to notice a lot of small little problems here and there. The homing attack is here, and while that immediately makes the game not really feel like any of the classic games, I don't mind its inclusion as long as the levels are designed interestingly around the fact that you have access to it. It's just strange that it's here, even though the whole point of the game is to remind you how awesome Sonic used to be, but they included something that makes the game feel super different from how the originals were. Hey, what in the world is that? Didn't I just say I'm fine with the homing attack as long as you use it in an interesting way? This is like the least interesting way you could use it. It really feels like they added the homing attack to make it feel more modern, I guess, but then they didn't really think about how to actually incorporate it into the game, so they just put a bunch of these guys around standing in easily homable lines. This is honestly a much smaller issue and the larger level design problem of this game. Yeah, Splash Hill was fine enough, but everything after that is just a pain to get through. Like I said, they really captured the feel of Sonic 1. Honestly, I wouldn't say anything in this game gets as frustrating as that game does, but that doesn't make what's here all that great. Lost Labyrinth can get especially bad because it constantly stops me in my tracks to make me look at some gimmick that it thinks is really cool, like this stupid boulder, or this stupid minecart, or this annoying torch puzzle, or this really annoying water room thing. Even levels without the constant gimmicks just don't really have anything interesting going on with them. I'm sure lots of you have noticed that all of the zones in this game, while technically original, are super derivative of zones that already exist. Like, I get it, it's a Sonic game and you have to have the casino pinball level, but I have seen this trope done in way more interesting ways. Even Sonic Superstars gets that right. And the game really likes to just randomly put in these bottomless pits that insta-kill you without any indication that they are even there. I mean, who designs levels like that? Oh, hi, Dimps. And the level design problems are made so much worse by the fact that the physics in this game are absolutely awful. The spin dash is completely useless because it can't even get you up the smallest of slopes. Meanwhile, walking at a brisk pace allows you to Spider-Man your way up the sides of cliffs. I'm fine with the physics feeling a little different. I'm actually a big defender of classic Sonic and Sonic Generations, because while it does feel different, it also feels good and the levels accommodate the movement. Meanwhile, in this game, everything feels bad and the levels suck too, so no one gets to have fun. And then we have the special stages, which hit you with the double whammy of being bad and frustrating while also giving you motion sickness as a wonderful parting gift. And I'm sure you've noticed it by now, because it's the thing that probably stands out the most about this game. Why does Sonic look like that? It looks like they took his model and blasted the contrast up on it. I have no clue how anyone thought this ever looked good and how it made it into the final game. Apparently it was fixed in the mobile version, but the PC version still gets the original uncompromised vision. I originally intended on getting all of the Chaos Emeralds and getting the true ending and all that, but I found the special stages to be a complete chore, and when I finally got to the final boss, I think I was just ready to be done. Alright, yeah, hello, welcome to our little field trip. Sonic 4, episode 1, ending. Alright. There we go. Here we are. Okay, you got it. Oh, I got him. I got Dr. Eggman. Ignore the watermarks. He's gonna run. It's safe to say that after finishing episode 1, I was not particularly eager to play episode 2. The game was just not enjoyable, and the thought of having to play more of it just made me frustrated, but the video would feel pretty incomplete if I just skipped it. So here we go, Sonic 4, episode 2. Right off the bat, I have to say the game looks a whole lot better than episode 1. The environments are fully modeled in 3D, and the characters no longer look like whatever they had going on there. On top of that, the physics in this game also feel a ton better, with everything working how you would expect it to. But even with these much appreciated improvements, none of it really matters if the level design is bad, and coming off of the previous outing, I don't have a ton of hope. To my surprise though, the level design has also seen a pretty massive improvement. I'll occasionally run into some annoyances left over from the first game, but overall the levels in this game are way more fun and enjoyable than any of the previous stages. The only level that kind of annoyed me was the plane one, but those annoy me in every Sonic game they are in, so it's not really an exclusive problem to this game. It seems crazy that my opinion would flip so fast, but this game is honestly really good. Every major problem I had with the last part was addressed and made 10 times better, and the level's themes even feel more original to this game as well. It's honestly all really good stuff. Tails makes an appearance here, which is pretty typical, but the way he is used is so much more interesting than how he typically is. You can do all these tag team moves, which will let you fly, swim, and do this roll that acts kind of like a more powerful spin dash. This acts as an evolution of the stuff you could already do with Tails in the classic games, but now it's just more useful and easier to use. I think stuff like that is why I found myself liking this game so much. Episode 1 was so obsessed with remembering old stuff that it ended up feeling like it had no identity of its own, and on top of that it was really bad. But with this game, while it still spends plenty of time remembering old stuff, it still has plenty of its own ideas, and on top of that the game is actually fun. Even the special stages, which were absolutely miserable in the last game, are decently fun here. And even when they get a little difficult, it's really easy to just restart it over and over again, basically giving you infinite retries. The game takes most of its inspiration from Sonic 2, if you couldn't tell by the special stages, but it also has some Sonic CD stuff in there too, since that game was getting a lot of attention during that time. And by having some Sonic CD stuff in it, I just mean that Metal Sonic is here, that's pretty much it. We do also have Episode Metal, where you actually get to play as Metal Sonic, which is pretty cool, and hey, wait a minute, they're trying to trick me into playing Episode 1 again. It does have the improved physics, and there are also only 4 levels this time, with a decent amount of the really annoying stuff not even showing up, but trust me, it's still Sonic 4 Episode 1 at heart. I'll be honest, after playing this game and liking it as much as I did, I'm kinda sad we never got episode 3. It seems like they genuinely listened to feedback and wanted to make the best game they could, and if they stayed on the track they were headed down in episode 2, I think we could have gotten another really fun game. But alas, we live in this messed up world where there is no Sonic 4 episode 3. My life is so hard. Now I just have to live with Sonic Mania instead.